of 52 Traders podcast, where I've interviewed some of the world's most successful traders. And today I want to teach you 3 secrets to acquiring profitable MetaTrader 4 expert advisors. So today you're going to learn my exact strategy to acquiring profitable MT4 expert advisors without buying commercial EAs, without finding free EAs, without having a strategy of your own, without learning to code MQL, and without paying for a developer. Sounds impossible, I know, but there is a way, and I will tell you exactly how to do it. So stay tuned. So if you stay to the end, don't forget, at the end of this webinar, I'm going to give away a secret link, and you'll get my highly configurable expert advisor, and some of you will grab my bonus gift for a select few people. So you have to be watching in order to get this link, so stick around. I promise it'll be worth your time. Now, before I go on, I know there are distractions all around us, but this strategy I'm about to share can change your life, and I don't want you to miss a single crucial step. So please make a commitment to stay focused. Can you do that for yourself? Close out of Facebook, stop checking email, turn off your cell phone, give your complete attention. Right, so who am I? You're probably wondering why I'm qualified to teach on this topic. So here's my story. I've had over 7 years experience trading expert advisors. Some of you will know me from my days gone by, where I used to run a site called forexreviewsrated.com, and I have tested, traded, trialed more than 100 EAs, if not most of them commercial, some free EAs, but I've done, I mean, I wouldn't even know how many I had done over the course of the years. I've run 4 VPS accounts at the same time to keep EAs in operation. And those of you who know what a VPS account is, you'll know that 4 is fairly excessive. And I've spent the last year building expert advisors myself. Now, before we go on, I want you to imagine what your life would be like when you have a profitable EA, so multiple EAs, making you money around the clock, leaving you free to get on with your life. I mean, can you see yourself retiring early, you know, sitting in a nice pool like that, looking at a lovely view? Could you see yourself quitting your job? Does it mean you can say to your boss, you know, I'm ready to go, I can now support myself? Or does it mean you're going to have more family time? So it's going to save you from the trading that you're doing at the moment and sitting on in front of a computer watching the charts. And does it mean you could go on that exotic holiday you've been looking for at a place like this, or a new car, you need a new car, or could you see yourself in a holiday house, so having a house you can go to, which gets a bit more sun and you can spend a bit more time in it? What would make things better for you? Now, today I want to tell you a little story about these 3 guys here. So this is actually from a TV show that I watched a few years ago. British TV show, BBC. Some of you may have watched it. For me, it struck a chord. And the 3 guys you see in front of you, there are 2 guys at the front who are both Mongolian farmers, and back is a miner from Britain. And the show was all about this miner from Britain coming out to Mongolia to spend some time with some miners from Mongolia. And I said miners because they were farmers and they had to turn their hand to mining because their farms got washed away with the bad weather over there in Mongolia and the changing climates. And so I want to tell you the story because I think this you guys could relate to this story in terms of how it matches up with your trading experience and what you find when you are trading, when you're going about your trading education and trying to become a profitable trader in the markets. So I think, you know, most of us are in the same spot as these Mongolian gold miners. So they've had to go and turn their hand to gold mining in Mongolia to make a living. And this miner from Britain is out there watching them and learning from them and giving them some tips and advice as to how to better prepare their mines for gold mining. So how do you guys relate to this? So let's have a look. In front of you, you can see now essentially the minefield, which is just a bit of farmland, or even deserted land where somebody has struck gold at some point in the past. And now all these Mongolian miners are out there in this vast landscape trying to dig holes with with hardly any tools and hope to strike gold. And that essentially for you guys, your vast minefield, and the way I see it is, it's really looking at those trading forums and Google, I mean, these are vast minefields of information that you need to decipher and go through to try and understand, well, trying to find that nugget of gold at the end that will give you trading success. So this is one similarity with these guys. The second one is cheap tools. So to go and navigate these vast minefields, these guys are using cheap tools. You can see there in the picture, he's got a spade, and behind him, behind his shoulder, he's got a plastic bucket. And so you guys are also using your cheap tool. So you'll be using a tool which is the cheapest tool you've probably got, depending on what you do in your day job or in your lifetime, is your time. So your time is one of the cheapest tools that you have to do that digging, do that searching. So time is a very important asset for us. The next thing is the tough dig. So once you have these trading forums in front of you, once you have Google in front of you, you've got to dig deep and you've got to dig hard. And for you guys, really, that is the search. So you're searching through these forums, you're searching through Google for keywords, words that you've picked up along the way, and you're trying to find that bit of gold at the end of your search. And when you find a little glimmer of hope, you find that that little piece of gold in there. So you're panning for that gold, essentially, is what the guys in Mongolia are doing. And that for you guys could be in the form of an indicator. It could be an EA, it could be a free EA, it could be a paid EA, it could be a strategy, it could be signals, it could be anything. So you have that little insight, that little nugget to keep you going. And you go, right, now I've got something that looks like it's worthwhile investing some more time in. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to dig a little deeper. So these guys start digging deeper over there in Mongolia. Now that they've found a little nugget of gold in this vast minefield, they start digging deeper. And for you guys, this really means back testing, demo trading, and live trading. Whatever it is you found, that indicator, that EA, that strategy, those signals, and all this takes a lot of time and effort and commitment. So you need to be dedicated to what you're doing to make this, to find out whether or not this golden nugget that you found is successful. And where do we end up most of the time, or the majority of the time? At the end of the day, you end up a bit like this guy, looking a bit dejected. He has no reward. He didn't find any gold because he's really going in there with a hole, with his fingers crossed and hoping for the best, that the hole that he dug was the right hole for that day, which for us is really all about wasted time. So you're wasting that time trying to find those indicators, those EAs, those strategies, those systems, signals, whatever it is. You're trying to find those signals in that vast minefield. So you need to start again. So when you've realized that, nope, it didn't work, and I've been there many times, guys, don't get me wrong, we've got to start again and start that search. So what if it was a bit different? What if there was a way to find and validate profitable strategies that meant you didn't have to waste days, even weeks, searching, testing, and trading? So this is a way to find and validate profitable strategies so that you mean you didn't have to waste these days. So you didn't have to waste time doing all the stuff I've just mentioned in that Mongolian story. Well, listen up, because there is. So this is a time-saving strategy. How I broke the model. So I have 3 secrets I'm going to share with you today. The first secret is let the strategies come to you. And we're going to talk about that more in a second. The second secret is take matters into your own hands. The third one is pick the right software. So software has something to do with this. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea to keep my voice going. It's 5 o'clock in the morning here, so it's very early for me as well. Right, secret number 1, let the strategies come to you. My discovery. So building my first EA with a developer. So back in the day, I built an EA with a developer, and this is my first EA. And the lessons I had was the guy had no vested interest. So all he wanted to do was see the money come in, get me off the books and get paid, get some feedback, and then move on. So it was a painful feedback loop as well, because he had no vested interest. What he was delivering up to me wasn't the quality that I was expecting. And this also added to the length of time it took. So in this instance, it went from supposed to be a 2-week turnaround to a 3-month turnaround. And then by the time I got the final expert advisor, which I thought was going to be doing, well, meeting the strategy that I had put forward, which it sort of did. It just wasn't configurable enough. So I couldn't configure it to make it profitable. And he had no vested interest in that profitability of the strategy. And the one of the main learnings was your budget determines your priority. So if you haven't got a big budget, and I'm talking a big budget, I mean, this guy was working on, he was a good developer, and he was working on multiple, working for a client on multiple strategies, and he was spending most of his time doing that, and I was essentially just with my $300 budget, just that 300 to 500, I think it was, that I was that guy who was hanging on there, that he just wanted to get the extra cash in the door, sort of like doing that cash in hand job if you're a builder. Right, so my discovery didn't end there. So I went on to use 9 other developers. So it just wasn't him. It was a persistent problem with these EA developers. Other things that I found was the price always increased. So after the first job, so do one job, do it cheap, and it probably wasn't. Normally, it wasn't a full EA. They'd do it cheap, and all of a sudden the price would increase for the second job, and it'd be a significant increase that I couldn't afford. And then they'd be slow to build EAs still. So I don't think there was anything that came back to me within at least 2 months. And then they couldn't understand simple requirements, and then constant bugs. So you're always testing these bugs that they've left in the system and trying to work out what they've done wrong with their coding, which is very difficult to do. And you end up spending almost more time than them building the expert advisor. Right, this is a screenshot from my account just to show you that I have used these guys. These are completed contracts for MQL4 developers. I've done a quick search there on MQL, and you can see there, and I'm sure some will pop up for EA as well, that I've got 9 guys there that I have used in the past. It was back in 2012 and 2011. You see the dates there. Some of them do have 5-star feedbacks, which is ironic given the issues that I've had, but I think people in these platforms get pressured into giving those sort of reviews. And it wasn't just me. So this wasn't just me. There was another guy out there. I can give you a really good example of, if you ever look at the dates here and the emails that came through to me in my on my other site, camforex.com, you can see there that on, was it Saturday the 9th of May 2015, this year, I was having a conversation with a trader that I'd met a while ago, who I was helping build EAs for in the course of the beginning of the year. So if we look at the boxes in red there, here's what he says to me. Am now having the X system written for me by some Indonesian guy who only wants a few quid for it. I realize it is a bit much to ask you to keep writing these EAs for me when you are so busy with your new venture. And he was talking about the 52 Traders podcast. And then we've got a month later on the 4th of June. Yes, that's not a bad idea, having 2 MAs, so moving averages. We'll do some tests on that. My programmer assures me that he is still working on it, but I reckon he is living it up in Barbados running my EA. He may well be. And then on the 7th of July 2015, so a month later, so this guy's now been waiting 2 months. The guy has said to me he wants to wait for some Malaysian holiday period to end and does not want payment, but will do it as a favor. Well, seems a bit odd. Sounds great, but I would rather pay and have it done now. Don't know what to do. Can still day trade longer time frames, but was hoping to be well underway by now. There's a long time between non-farm payrolls, NFPs. So he's waiting 2 months now, and it goes on. So the 3rd month, so down the bottom there, you've got 8th of August 2015, so only a few months ago. He's replaced with an email. No, he wanted to wait a month. So I contacted him on the 1st of August, I'm guessing, and he says he will start again, but no word yet. So he's waited a week. So I will now find somebody else, and having a day trading system on. I'm now day trading the X system. So this guy's ended up waiting 3 months for an EA to be built, and nothing. He has received nothing. And I ended up saying to him, look, I'm going to build that EA for you. I've got some window now with my podcast, and I think it took me 3 hours to build the entire EA for him when I actually sat down and put my mind to it. So I had a big aha moment on the back of this. a massive aha moment, and I'm going to share that with you. And this is essentially one of the answer to that secret of to the secret that I've just given you at the top here, which is let the strategies come to you. So this is a massive aha moment. The first thing is there's two things to it. One is developers get the best systems for free. So if you're a developer, if you can develop expert advisors, you're going to get the best systems for free. So how are you going to get that? Because people are going to give you the systems to build. So it all seems fairly obvious, but they're also going to get, well, some of them and most of them are going to get paid to build them. So somebody's going to give you money as an expert advisor developer to build a system that they've spent however many years or months or days or whatever it is trying to come up with. They're going to get a developer to build that system for them, and they're going to pay that developer 9 times out of 10 some money to do that and give them the system for free. So therefore, my big aha moment is, what if I could develop EAs myself and offer to build EAs for other traders? I'd have validated strategies sent to me for free, or they'd even pay me, saving me time searching for profitable strategies. So all that Mongolian time example that I gave you, where you're wasting all that valuable time searching for strategies, they're going to come to you. Plus, automating these strategies would save weeks of testing and years of chart watching. So by doing the work and building it into an expert advisor, all of a sudden my testing time is going to drop significantly, and I'm not going to, when I trade the actual expert advisor, I'm not going to be sitting there in front of the charts, placing trades and monitoring charts and waiting for opportunities. I'm going to be having some of the software do that for me, or give me alerts to do that for me. So there are all these benefits that come with this strategy. And the actual strategy can work like this. I'm going to show you an example of how you can actually put it into practice. So there are two ways. You can either do it for free, or you can get paid for it. And doing it for free, the best way to do that is to jump on the trading forums. Hang on a second. I'm just going to have another sip of my tea. So we've got MQL5, Forex Factory, Baby Pips, Trade to Win, Daily FX, My FX Books, and there are many more that you can jump on there, create a profile, start having a chat to traders, and then eventually offer to build expert advisors for free for other traders out there. And that's probably the best way to get the strategies coming to you, and also to learn how to build expert advisors. So taking that time, so you've got no pressure with the whole money side of it. You can just take your time and learn how to build some of the more tricky requests at your leisure, as opposed to having the pressure of money being on the table. So it's a good way to start off. And the second one, and I'm going to show you a video about how you go through both of these and how easy it is to do in just a minute. Second one is to get paid for it. So you can jump on freelancing websites such as MQL5.com, Upwork.com, Fiverr.com, and Freelancer.com. These all allow you to post a profile for free and bid on jobs that come through. So guys offering up MQL requests or expert advisor requests. So, and you can post bids for those jobs, and or they can come direct to you if they like the look of your profile, or if you've got enough feedback and reviews and that sort of thing. So and the final way is to do it as a bit of a business. So start up a website and then advertise that website for your services of building expert advisors. Now, I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of you are probably thinking at the moment, how do I build expert advisors? Now, don't worry, this will all be revealed later on in the webinar. So first of all, I want to show you quickly how easy it is to go into these sites and how many opportunities there are. So it's not just like, oh, well, somebody else is going to do it and then I'm not going to be able to do this as well. You'll be able to do this as well as every other man on the street. So I'm going to hit play on this video, and I'm going to actually, before I get into it, I'm going to read you, I'm going to voice over the video because the video sound doesn't come through on the webinar. So I've actually recorded the audio and I'm just going to voice over it. So please bear with me if I sound a little bit odd whilst I am trying to replicate the words that I'm actually saying on the audio. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to walk you through 3 places that you can find paid work as an expert advisor developer. So one of the first places is Upwork.com. previously known as odes.com. And what you do is click on the search icon at the top and click on jobs, and you're going to type in MT4 and hit enter. And we're going to find a whole bunch of jobs that people have requested MT4 programming for. So EAs and all sorts of other things. So we're looking primarily for EAs here. So here's one, EA for MetaTrader MQL4. Somebody requesting a job there. EA for MT4 strategy. So these are guys who are posting strategies here that can be picked up. Optimization is requested there as well. And there's 5 pages in the search results. And if you have a look at how recent these are, this was 3 days ago with a budget of $50. This was a day ago with a budget of $30. And this was 19 hours ago, and there was no fixed budget on that one. So you can see how sort of frequently these jobs pop up here on these sort of sites. And this is only one of those sites. So just create a profile and you can bid on these jobs, and also pick up the strategies that these traders are looking to code into expert advisors. Another site you can jump on is fiverr.com, and that's fiverr.com. And if you type into the search box here, MT4 space EA, you can see what's on offer. So these guys are offering the services. And if we scroll down a little bit, just to give you a bit of a taster for what's possible. So there's a guy here, I will write a custom expert advisor EA or trading algo for you. So for $5. If we can see here, he's had 42 buyer reviews, which means he's had at least 42 buyers of the service, which means he's possibly created 42 EAs and had 42 different strategies that he could even use himself if he did want to do that. And people are paying him anywhere between, let's have a look here. There's options. So you've got a $5 basic gig is $5. Do an intermediate EA, which is $15, and do a complex EA, which is $40. And so you add in these figures here, and what the bottom there, we've got at the bottom, resale rights is $50. So as a total, this guy could be making upwards of $200 for an EA, and he's obviously done 42 of them, so he's obviously doing all right for himself. And the last place I'm going to take you to is MQL5.com. This is the largest market of trading robots and technical indicators, and they have a freelance section up there in the top navigation. And if you can go on here and find requests as per Upwork for EAs to be developed, along with a whole raft of other things. So if we scroll down and go into the second page to try and find something that's quite relevant. So at the bottom there, need an EA with breakout strategy. And this guy's had 8 applications. So people that have bid on the job, very much like Upwork, very much, and this is very much tailored towards the trading community versus Upwork, where it's tailored towards everything. So this is probably for this is probably more for the guys that are quite capable of building expert advisors themselves. And this just gives you a bit of a taster for what's available out there and how much you could earn building these EAs. So you can see some budgets here: 100 to 200, 10 to 70, 40 to 60, $150 budget. So not megabucks here, but it's a nice little, as David Brent said, Bunsen burner, nice little earner for you as an EA developer. So that's it in terms of paid expert advisor work. So let's move back to the webinar. Okay, secret number 2 is take matters into your own hands. So what do I mean about that? Let's have a look here. Is this going to help? Is this going to move to the next page? Sorry. Come on. It always gets a little bit funny after these. Here we go. After the video plays. All right, so this is my EA building discovery. So as I mentioned earlier, knowing how to build EAs is something that we need to do to obviously implement this strategy. So we already know that we can't rely on developers. We've heard my stories. We've seen the story of the other trader friend of mine, and we sort of know that you're not going to get the best result if you use a developer. Learning MQL is also not the best choice for the time poor or non-technical. So if you don't have a lot of time and you're not technical, especially if you're not technical, learning MQL is just a no-go. If you're a coder, if you code for a living, it's probably something you would enjoy doing and something you probably should do. If you're not a coder, if you don't have experience in coding, if you're not that way inclined, I would not recommend it. And for the time poor also, so it will take you a lot of time to learn how to do it and also a lot of time to work with it as well. So here are my lessons. I used to do a little bit of coding back in the day. I wasn't a coder. I just know how to do some coding. And here's what I can tell you with regard to MQL and any other coding for that matter. Here's what you're going to come up against. And most of these things you'll see here in this list are all around time. So if you miss a comma, or a full stop or an I or a whatever, a letter or a number, you're going to have to spend time debugging that code. And that's a lot of time. You're going to spend time scrolling. So that's searching through the code, trying to find whatever piece of code you're looking for. You're going to have to spend thinking time to decipher the code and work out what has gone wrong. So that might mean jumping on the internet and finding answers to your coding problems as well. So that's thinking time. And then if you want to tweak something you developed in the past, so for example, you built an EA 2 or 3 weeks ago and you want to go back and start working on it again, you need to spend time reacquainting yourself with that code, which will take quite some time. So there's a massive time impact on MQL as opposed to some other alternatives. So where to next? So if those aren't the two, if those aren't our EA building solutions, what is our solution? Well, my strategy is to use a time-crushing EA builder. So for those that don't know what EA builders are essentially software that does all the coding for you and lets you concentrate on the strategy and not the code. And so that's the key point. It lets you concentrate on the strategy and not the code. And I'll demonstrate how one of these works in a few minutes. So some of the benefits with EA builders are you don't have any code to deal with, you don't have any code to learn, and you don't have any code to fix. So you do not need to deal with code, which is a very important part of an EA builder. It visualizes everything. So everything's done in a much more visual manner, and you'll see in a few minutes when I show you. You're able to debug strategies hundreds of times faster. So instead of going through lines of code or waiting for a developer to come back to you, you can debug strategies hundreds of times faster. It's easy to read the algorithms. As I said, it's very visual, so you can read the algorithms, understand how they work much quicker than any other way. You can rapidly create, you can rapidly deploy and test these expert advisors you create in minutes. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that in this video versus hours, days, or even weeks to do it. So you're not, as I said, you're not spending your time on the code, you're spending your time on the strategy. And you can reacquaint yourself with strategies in seconds or even minutes. So by looking, because it's so visual, you just coming back to something you built 2 or 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, or 2 years ago, or whatever it is, you can quickly see how that strategy was put together and how it sort of fits together nicely. So that's my answer to taking control into your own hands. So if you use a time-crushing EA builder, you can then build those EAs and take that control as opposed to relying on other people or something that might be too difficult in terms of learning MQL. Secret number 3 is picking the right software. So if you're going to use an EA builder, you obviously need to pick the right software that goes with it, because if you don't, there are a couple of pitfalls. I'm going to walk you through those right now. So if you pick the right EA building software, you'll have a much higher chance of building profitable EAs. Why? Because you have to invest money into EA building software. And the second one is you have to also invest time. So the money side of things, look, there are some free EA builders, just a very few free EA builders out there, and they're free for a reason. They're not very good. So you do have to invest money if you want a good EA builder, which gives you that rich visual interface that you can quickly and easily churn out expert advisors. The second one is you have to invest time as well. So even if you do get a paid one or a free one, whatever it is, you're going to have to invest a significant amount of time to understand all the ins and outs of how it works, because these things are fairly complex to use when you first start learning them. So there is an investment time. So there are two massive impacts there. And look, there are a number of EA builders out there on the markets. I've reviewed pretty much every single EA builder out there, and there was only one that stood head and shoulders above the pack. And I'm going to share that one with you guys today, because this is the EA builder that I recommend to everyone out there, just for the following reasons. And that EA builder is FX Dreamer. So here are the reasons that I rate FX Dreamer. And you'll see it in use in a couple of seconds. So they've got an active support team. They've got regular updates. It's affordable, which is one of the most important things. It's easy to use, and it is feature rich. So FX Dreamer is the software that I would recommend that you pick when you're looking for an expert advisor. And I'm going to show you how you can build an EA in less than 4 minutes with FX Dreamer on a strategy which actually was profitable over about 6 months. When I ended up testing it month on month, it was profitable for over 6 months on 99.9% modeling quality. And I didn't even really think about the strategy. I came up with it in about 2 minutes. So this is one of those lucky moments, or maybe I shouldn't be thinking too hard about my strategies. But I'm going to walk you through how I built that using FX Dreamer, and you can see there the interface in front of you. And I'm going to also talk you through how I'll show you the test results and show you how you validate that the strategy works correctly. So for those that haven't used expert advisors before, this is a nice little demo as to how they all work and what it's all about. So let me hit play here, and I'm once again going to talk over this video. Right, everyone, so I'm going to show you how quickly you can build an expert advisor using the FX Dreamer interface. So first up, I'm going to do a moving average crossover type of system. So I'll walk you through how it's going to be built as I'm building it. So to start off with, we're going to throw in some filters. And the first ones are an if trade and a no trade. So we're going to look at two scenarios here: if there's no trade running and if there's a trade running. So I'm going to also add in another filter, and this one's going to let us focus on something that is happening once per bar or once per candle. So when there's no trade running, once per bar or candle, we're going to look at this condition, and this condition is going to be that price has to be under the 200 moving average. In actual fact, I get this wrong in the video and I correct it, so watch out here. So I get it wrong, and no, price needs to be, the candle high needs to be below the 200 moving average. So let's change that and click update. So that's our first condition. So the candle needs to be below the 200 moving average, and our buy condition here is going to be that the simple moving average for the 5 period crosses above the 20 period moving average. So that's our first signal for a buy trade. So let's put that in there. So we're going to buy immediately when that happens, and we're going to use the standard properties, which is 100 pips stop loss, 100 pip take profit. And we're going to do the same for the sell trade. So we're just going to copy that condition here across, because it's going to be the same condition, but it's going to be above the 200 moving average. So we're going to just change that to if it crosses below, and click update. And we're going to add the sell trade in here and connect that up, and that'll have the same properties as the buy trade. So that's going to exit at 100 pips take profit or 100 pips stop loss. But what if we want to exit at the 20 moving average crossing over the 200 moving average? So we're going to put that in now. If we just grab another condition block here and connect that in, and we're going to say for exiting a buy trade, if the 20 SMA crosses above the 200 SMA, we will exit our buy trade. So let's grab the close trades block here and connect that up, and we're going to just exit buy trades. So click that. Okay. So we're going to do the same for sell trades. So we're just going to copy this across and connect that up and update the details for sell trade. So we're going to cross below for that, and then we're going to make sure that we close the sell trades. Okay, so that's it. So let's save this, and that took me about 3 minutes to do. 3 minutes 14 the video is run for. So we're going to save that now and run it through the tester. So we're going to save it as FX Dreamer Demo version 1.1, save, and let's jump into my MetaTrader 4 platform now. And I'm going to quickly run a test to show you how it works. And this platform's been configured for 99.9% modeling quality, as you'll see at the end of the video. So here it goes. It's loaded in, FX Dreamer Demo version 1.1. We're going to find it from the list there. We're going to run a test on the Great British Pound, New Zealand dollar, 5-minute chart for a month in 2014. Let's see how it goes. So click start, and let's have a look at the visualization at the top. You can see it's entering a trade, it's exiting a trade, it's entering another trade, and it's exiting another trade. So it's working. Let's have a look at the chart. Down the bottom, it's not looking too healthy, but it picks up again. Here it goes. Let's just run this for a little bit. And ironically, the strategy isn't too bad, even though it took me only a couple of minutes to come up with. So we'll stop this here and have a look and see if we're actually meeting the rules that we've put into the EA. So let's have a look at that buy trade there. So the 5-period moving average crosses above the 20-period moving average. You can see there the crossover happens right there, enters a buy trade, and we're going to exit the buy trade when the 20-period moving average crosses over the 200-period moving average, and there it goes, and we exit the buy trade there. So you can see the exits of the trades there. And let's have a look at the sell trade. So the sell trade is the same, so it crosses below the 20 moving average, and we enter the trade, and then the 20 moving average crosses over the 200 moving average, and we exit the sell trade there. So you can see there it matches our strategy, which is great. And this is how FX Dreamer works and how quickly you can build EAs that do generate some profit. This one, as I said, I came up with in about 2 minutes. So it hasn't been well thought through, but when I actually went through 6 months of testing this, it actually was profitable across the course of 6 months, which I was quite surprised about. So it gives you, just to give you an idea of how complex these projects can be, I'm going to give you I'm going to show you how the candy shop, what the candy shop EA looks like in FX Dreamer. And this is the EA you'll be picking up at the end of the webinar. So this is only a portion of it. And you can actually zoom out and make it look a lot easier to read. But this is a very complex one that I've built for you guys, and I'm giving away to you at the end of this webinar. So that's it from the video. And let's end that here and move on with the presentation. So, gone a bit too far there. So let's have a look here. So this is the Candy Shop EA, as I mentioned, zoomed out, and this is what you're going to be picking up at the end of the show. And this is it built in the FX Dreamer interface. And this is only about 20% of the code that's sitting in there. As you can see, it's quite an extensive expert advisor. And so what happens if you follow this strategy? Well, by following the strategy I've outlined today, you'll be able to create an EA like this in just a few hours. And this is one I did for another trader out there. The opportunities are literally endless. It depends on how many strategies you can pump in and how much time you want to put towards it. But you can definitely find profitable strategies here using as profitable MetaTrader 4 expert advisors using these secrets, the 3 secrets I've given you today, which are let the strategies come to you, take matters into your own hands, pick the right trading software, pick the right software, which is the EA builder. So those 3 secrets that I've given you today will allow you to create profitable expert advisors in the future. Now, I want to talk you through one more thing here. So what can you expect if you didn't, or I suppose what can you expect when you're going through this process? So if we just quickly look at a few things of, in terms of how you can test these strategies and what what it looks like from a time perspective. So at the bottom there, we've got on this chart number of strategies tested, and I've got numbers 1 to 17. And on the side of the chart, I've got strategy testing speed. So if we were to manually test strategies, I expect it to look a bit like this. So you're actually going back into your TradeStation, your MetaTrader 4, and you're going through, clicking through the time to have a look at when your entry signals are met for each strategy. And this is a lengthy process, especially if you're looking at lower time frames and doing it over many years. So manually testing a strategy, you're going to get better at it over time. So the more strategies you test, the quicker you're going to get, but it's still going to take you weeks. I mean, it could even take months. If we use MQL, and so we're going to learn how to code MQL, it's going to get better than manually testing, because you're going to be able to use the power of EAs to test strategies. But you're still going to need to learn MQL code, which is going to take you some time. And you can see there that at the start, it's going to take you quite, and I think this is probably quite an aggressive curve for the non-technical of us, who probably end up spending, months, if not years, trying to master MQL. But you can see there, over time, you will go from, as you become more familiar with MQL, you'll go from weeks potentially to days, and look, it could even take you weeks at the end, as we've seen with some of those developers out there. Now, if we bring in an EA builder, now how much of an advantage does an EA builder bring to these curves? What does that look like? So an EA builder, it's not as smooth as you would think. It does mean you don't need to deal with code, but there is still a learning curve. And this learning curve, as you can see there, why is it a squiggly line? Well, what tends to happen is, like, over the first few strategies, you'll build EAs a certain way, and such as the way I just showed you, where they do work, but you'll find that that's not the best way to do it. And over time, you'll find better ways to do things. And as you find those better ways, the time it takes to test strategies and to build these EAs will drop significantly. So you can see those big drops. So you go along for a period of time, you learn something else, it drops significantly, and then you learn another thing after a while, and it drops again. And eventually you get down to the point after a fairly long period of time, and I've been through this whole process, where it will only take you minutes, as you saw in the video, or even hours to build a strategy. Now, I want to ask you this: what if you had a course that taught you all the secrets of using an EA builder, and actually guaranteed you that by the end of the course, you'd be creating fully automated expert advisors of your own, that you would be testing and optimizing on 99.9% accurate historical data? Now, what would this line look like? So I had a think about this, and how could we bring this EA builder line much sharper, so that learning curve is much quicker, and you can go from, like, within 3 or 4 strategies, you can start building expert advisors and testing them on 99.9% quality back data in just a matter of hours, even minutes. And so the first strategy is going to take you a significant amount of learning time. It'll take you maybe a few weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But once you've learned those tricks, and you've learned the ins and outs of an EA builder and what you should have been doing from the start, it's going to save you an immense amount of time going forward. So I have a proposal for you today. As a listener of this webinar, I have a proposal for you. I am looking for founding members to help shape a course that will walk you through every aspect of using FXstreamer to build, test, and optimize awesome EAs. And as a founding member, you're going to get special benefits, and I'm going to go through those benefits in just a second. So I'm looking for founding members that will help shape a course that will walk you through using FXstreamer to build, test, and optimize awesome EAs. So if you are a complete technophobe, this course will be for you, and you would want to get in as a founding member, because you could help shape that course. Or if you have specific things you want to find out, if you want to make sure that there's no stumbling blocks along the way for you, you can come in as a founding member. And I'm going to let you know what special benefits I have for founding members. So keep watching. As a founding member, you will get a complete EA Builder course for FXstreamer, which will include video tutorials, cheat sheets to make the learning real quick, testing and troubleshooting secrets. So not all building EAs is smooth sailing like the video I showed you. There is you're going to have to troubleshoot, you're going to have to test, and you're going to want to know the best ways to do that, especially for getting profitable strategies. Working with custom indicators. So how can you use custom indicators in these EAs that you're building? Strategy optimization secrets as well. So that's what you're going to learn from an EA Builder course. And I think this, if you look at how much this could be valued at, well, a typical EA costs between $97 and $997. Usually they don't work. I mean, I've tested hundreds of commercial EAs, and usually most of them don't work, if not all of them. None of them worked, the ones that I tested that were commercial. They can't be modified or optimized easily, if at all. So you cannot really work with these on a optimization point of view, and they aren't tested, most of them aren't tested on 99.9% back data. So whether or not these, or if the data is a long enough period of time, so it's just a gamble. They're limited to a few symbols or instruments, so you can't see if that strategy works on another symbol for another currency pair, another index, whatever it is, and you only get one EA. So I think the value of an EA Builder course, so being able to build multiple EAs at your fingertips, has got to be between $997 and $1,997. So you're also going to receive, on top of the course, you're going to receive a dedicated MT4 testing platform. So that means your MT4 on your own PC will be able to generate the following. So you're going to get the complete setup guide. You're going to get free software downloads. You're going to get free historical data on any symbol, time frame, or period. And it's going to give you 99.9% back testing results every time. So no more of this 90% stuff. This is going to be 99.9% quality data coming to you. And I'm going to make sure you guys can set yourself up with your own dedicated MT4 testing platform. And this is so important as part of using an EA Builder. If you don't have a good testing platform, it is almost pointless having an EA Builder and using an EA Builder. So the dedicated testing platform, what value can we put on this? Well, I've spent more than $300 on retail historical data packages, so you can save at least $300 there. You can save $35 on the standard software, so I can get the software for you for free. There'll be a step-by-step instructional videos. So what's the value on that? The time it would take for you to discover this method and try other methods to try and get 99.9% back data. So I'm going to put a value of this on this of $600 to $850. So as a founding member, you are going to get a complete EA Builder course valued at $19.97, dedicated MT4 testing platform valued at $800, and you're also going to receive 10 time-saving pre-built FX Streamer EA templates, so you can import them directly into your own FX Streamer account. They're going to include essential components. Here's just some examples. You can help shape this, as I mentioned. So adjustable inputs, buy or sell market or penny orders, money management. That's just some examples. It could be whatever you want. I'll build those for you. You can import them into your own FX Streamer account and use them from the very start. So what's the value of this? Well, this is going to save you time constructing EAs. It's going to validate your learning, and it's going to fast track your learning. So I'm going to put a value of $200 to $300 based on how much time it's going to save. So you're going to get that EA Builder course. You're going to get the dedicated MT4 testing platform. You're going to get 10 FX Streamer templates. It doesn't end there. You're also going to get 10 proven trading strategies. So I have acquired 10 proven trading strategies, 7 strategies from reputable traders. From a reputable trader that I know. 1 strategy that placed first at a trading championship. So this strategy placed first, and then 2 strategies that placed among the top 5 at a trading competition for 8 consecutive years. I mean, 8 consecutive years is a huge amount of time to place in the top 5 of a trading competition. So you're going to get that, and let's have a look at working out how much this could be valued at. So being conservative, I mean, look, each strategy could cost at least $100, and I think that's being very conservative. But many hours have gone into creating these strategies, and some are competition winners. So the actual value is probably much higher, but I'm just going to put a value on it of $1,000. So you're going to get that complete EA Builder course. You're going to get that dedicated MT4 testing platform, 10 FX Streamer templates, 10 proven strategies, and I'm also going to give you a free, well, I'm not going to give you, you're going to get a free FX Streamer account with limited functions, and this is available to anyone now, so you can go and create those now and have a play and see if it's for you. But you're also going to get a 3-month subscription to FX Streamer as part of a founding membership. The actual cost for a 3-month subscription is $33. But if you were to buy 3 1-month subscriptions at $19, which is the cost, that's going to cost you $57 over the course of 3 months. So the value for this is $57. So you're going to get that complete EA Builder course, dedicated MT4 testing platform, 10 FX Streamer templates, 10 proven strategies, 3 months of FX Streamer subscription. And there's one more thing. Well, there's actually 2. You're going to get access to the community. We can sell, swap EAs that you build. You can share or swap strategies. You can partner up and build EAs collaboratively. So the value of this, selling EAs can be a lucrative business, so you could make some money from there. Swapping EAs saves you time buying commercial EAs or building them yourself. Sharing strategies helps with your learning. Collaborating can speed up and improve your EAs. So I'm going to put a value in that of $1,000. So let's go over this. You're going to get that complete EA Builder course valued at $19.97. You're going to get the dedicated MT4 testing platform valued at $800. You're going to get 10 FX Streamer templates valued at $300. You're going to get 10 proven trading strategies valued at $1,000. You're going to get 3 months free FX Streamer access valued at $57. You're going to get access to the community valued at $1,000. So that's a total value of $5,154. Now, as a founding member, you won't invest $5,154. I think it's affordable at $497, but you won't invest $497. I have a special one-time only ever offer for founding members, so foundation members. After this, the price will never be lower than $497. So this is a special offer, one time only ever, as a founding member, because as you can see here, some of these things have not been built yet. So the course has not been built. The dedicated MT4 testing platform, the course for that has not been built. The 10 FX Streamer templates have not been built. I will build those for you in 45 days. So I've got a 45-day guarantee on this. So in 45 days, you will get access to this, and you'll be able to help shape some of this information. So if there are things that are missing or things that you want to see in there, you can help shape what these templates are, how the course is structured, and those sorts of things. But today you'll walk away with 10 proven trading strategies. You'll also walk away with a 3-month free FX Streamer subscription, and you'll walk away with the community access. That said, depending on how many founding members we have, the community will probably not be that big at the start, and the value will grow over time. And I also have for you a special founding member bonus. You are not only going to get the Candy Shop EA along with everyone else, but you're going to get that FX Streamer template that I showed you and the settings that were used with that EA that were put on the page where you registered. So the charts there, you will get those settings, and only founding members will get those settings. If all this did was let you backtest commercial EAs on 99.9% accurate modeling quality over at least 5 years, would it be worth it? Is that something you struggle with? And if all this did was let you discover profitable trading strategies, would it be worth it? And if all this did was give you the skills to automate strategies in a matter of hours, would it be worth it? What's one strategy worth to you? One profitable strategy. Is it 5K a month? Is it 10K a month? Is it more? How much would you pay to get one perfect strategy? So the founding members one-time offer, and this is a one-time investment for founding members, and it's not going to be $5,154. It's not going to be $497. As a founding member, you're going to get a one-time offer of only $197 to get all of the above. Plus, you'll also receive a full refund if I don't get at least 5 founding members by the 18th of December 2015. So if I don't get enough interest in building this course and moving forward with this, you'll get a full refund. So I'm looking for 5 founding members. And if the course isn't complete within 45 days, you'll also get a full refund. So it's up to me to make sure that that course is completed within 45 days. So your investment is just not $497 as I said, the price will be $497 for anyone joining when the course is developed. Your price will be $197, so just an investment of $197. Now, I'm going to activate the button below so that you can get access to the founding membership. So just bear with me a second. You should be able to click that button in a couple of seconds if we just wait for this to tick over here and update. So that button should be active now. So click the button below to join this exclusive group. The offer expires on December 18, 2015. So you've got a week to take this offer up. Just as a reminder, so you are going to, if you join now today for just $197, you can join now if the button's not working, you join now at 52traders.com/EA course. If you have questions, if you want to send me questions about this, please email me at cam@52traders.com. And to get the free EA, or the Candy Shop EA I talked about and promised at the start of the show, the link is on the screen here. Just type that into your browser and you'll have access to that Candy Shop EA. So what are we going to get here? Just as a founding member recap, you're going to get a complete EA Builder course valued at $19.97. You're going to get a dedicated MT4 testing platform valued at $800. You're going to get 10 FX Streamer templates valued at $300. You're going to get 10 proven trading strategies valued at $1,000. You're going to get 3 months free FX Streamer access valued at $57. And you're going to get access to the community valued at $1,000. So it's a total value of $5,154. And as a founding member today, you can get it for a special price of $197. Please, I'm going to just check that link's working now, and give me a second to have a drink, and I'll be back here in a second to answer your questions. Just if you have questions, leave them in the chat window at the bottom of the screen.